My name is BenFlyingRetro, and I'm embarking on a quest to purchase every classic GI Joe comic from the original 80s and 90s Marvel run.
Warning.
Hunting down individual issues from every corner of the globe in whatever order the universe decides to give me. Join me and my pal Steve every week as we discuss my latest find. Welcome to Chasing Joe. Chasing Joe. It's 10 a.m. It's a brand new year, but it's the same old Chasing Joe. Happy New Year. It's the new year. Hope you have a good one. S-Jubs, I couldn't think of a better way to ring in the new year with my best bud in Cape Town, talking about a Marvel G.I. Joe A-Rod comic book as I drink my coffee.
He's chasing Joe with a cup of Joe on the first day of 2026.
Look at me. I look so morning-based. I'm off court. I got a lot of paddle-based leisure wear for Crimbo.
So did you get what you were expecting? Were you a good boy this year, Ben?
I was a good boy, but I've already got myself another obsession. I went to see Marty Supreme, and I came out of the cinema, and I thought, table tennis. Looks like a fine hobby. And then everyone all around me were just like, oh, God, here we go. It's going to be 4 months of this. It's just how I do things. What does that mean?
I didn't know table tennis existed outside of the Christmas period.
Dude,
It does seem like a Christmas thing.
It is such a good game. It's so social, got good memories of it. I don't know why I don't have one in the garden. It's bizarre. One of those all-weathered ones that you just leave out.
Stainless steel. Mm-hmm.
It's something that everyone can relate to. Like, there's some good memories of bars that had a bunch of tables, or even hostels when I was traveling.
Bars?
Yeah, bars that have like foosball and a table tennis outside.
Table, but not a table tennis. That is chaotic, man. That is asking for trouble. You got guys volleying table tennis balls while under the influence.
Do you have any memories of getting one of those little nets and converting your dining table as a kid into one?
That is why it became a Christmas thing, because Dad would kind of extend the dining room table. First, he would move it into the dance studio so we'd have more space. He'd extend it with some big old boards, and that made it the perfect dimensions for table tennis. So we'd have the little screw-in.
Yes, the clamps.
The clamps. That's the word I was scrambling for.
And then as you get into your adolescence, you get older, for some reason, it just lends itself to drinking. Like, I don't know. You just start boozing. Then you start
that with beer pong.
Then you start betting, and then you just lose all the game together. You just start putting, beer pong. You're like, right, let's put these cups down.
Who needs
Anyway. That was the cinema. I saw Marty Supreme. It had a very good soundtrack. I will give it that.
What are we here for, though, Benjamin?
We're here to get into this. Now, I had a clerical error this morning. I gave S-Jubs the wrong issue to read. So, I mean, I text the man 20 minutes out before we go live with an issue change. But I think that's going to make for an exciting show. I do have something to show you. I did get this for Christmas. I really wanted this. Yeah, Optic Blast! You know, look, we're living in 2026, and you do get these little things that you'd have loved as a kid. You know, his hand in that position, in that kind of, Optic Blast! You ruddy Boy Scout. Scott Summers, you're such a do-gooder, but you look good. You do look good.
Well, they did write by him in X-Men 97. In case
yes.
there was any doubt as to who was in charge of the X-Men. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
He made it an imperative of the show to, give
also
some respect.
Just as a rule, I'm not massive on what do you call these?
Blast effects.
Usually, I'm not the biggest fan, but I absolutely love this one. Just because it has a kind of ending that's all jagged, it really works. It's so neat. Anyway, that was my favorite Christmas present.
Light up visor over blast effect any day. And that's why I kick it old school with my Cyclops.
Yeah, you do keep it old school. Circa what do you keep? 1992.
My definitive Cyclops is the light up eyes. Must have been a 1994 release.
Okay, 94.
For the backpack, he comes with a little silver pistol. All of that you can just toss in the bin, because what you really are concerned with is the fact that you press a button on his back and.
Are these the lost years? Are these like the lost years of action figures? There's a little window there where there was some really good stuff coming out, but I'm not entirely sure it was coming out in the UK. Or if it was
Marvel Legends.
Yeah, if it was limited and maybe not necessarily pushed that hard over here. I'm mainly talking about the Aliens line. I just don't have memories of that existing, because I know if it did, I would have bought it. So it confuses me.
Not that this is a yardstick for anything, but it had pretty limited release in South Africa too. So maybe it wasn't doing the kind of numbers outside of the US.
Look, essentially, if it wasn't in Toys R Us, then it really didn't exist, because toy shops were few and far between. Sometimes you'd get some special stuff in Hamleys, but it would be a pricey meatball. Like sometimes you'd get some stuff in Hamleys that you couldn't maybe get anywhere else. But hey, anyway.
My stomping ground were always the moms and pops toy stores that had random weird things.
Okay.
Just the big toy shops didn't order for some reason. They found their niche. Yeah. So that's the kind of place you would have found Kenner Aliens. Well, look, I say that. And then there was a toy chain in South Africa called Reggie's, and that's where they appeared, and they got snatched up fast. My buddy Paul tells the story. He said he saw them one day, pined for them, asked mom and dad, went back to the shop, they were gone.
Gone, yeah, okay. Scalpers, even back then. Just quickly, before we get on to Joe, how many Colonial Marines were in that wave? Or was it just a couple? Was it just hits?
They started making them up after a while. No, there were a lot.
Wow.
They had a guy called ATAC who actually dressed up like a xenomorph. He had xenomorph armor to kind of dress him up and make him an infiltration specialist. I mean, it was very toyetic then. It was taking the aliens lore and trying to un-R-rate it.
Yeah, but for my money, that one that you showed me that explodes is one of the best play features I've ever seen, because it just feels exactly like the film. I hear the pulse rifle, and then it's just, that's what they were doing in the film. They were just, James Cameron was like, I literally don't know what to do, we just have to blow these things up. In quite a kind of sort of primitive way. The way the aliens blow up isn't like organic matter. It's more like something mechanical blowing up, or it's like sort of 4 or 5 bits. Anyway,
and lots of slime. And
it's a new year, but BenFlyingRetro is still talking about aliens, and it will never change.
It's in the name, Ben. Flying Retro.
Yeah.
Unsheath that sucker, boy.
Harlan August, listener, watcher of the show, he was in my Whatnot stream last night, doing a Stranger Things break. Massive appreciation to the Harlan. Okay, right, I will say that this is a Whatnot purchase. It's issue 51, June 10th, 1986 to 2026. We got some synergy.
Whew. And
now,
it is indeed the issue that I read. Thank goodness.
But look, this could come out now with this artistic, scratchy, drawn cover. This is beautiful. Oh my God. The Gatling guns. The Thunder Machine. Talking about optic blasts, that's a nice blast effect, isn't it? Who's drawn this cover, S-Jubs?
I'm looking it up as we speak.
Well, it It is issue 51. It did drop on June the 10th. What better time than for me to turn up in Cape Town, grab you out of your house, chuck you in my DeLorean, essentially kidnap you, and then take you back. And we would have had a blast because
Pump your brakes for a second, because I just want to call back to what you just said about that Gatling gun looking like an optic blast.
Yeah.
Because John Byrne was the cover artist on issue 51.
Oh,
John Byrne of X-Men fame.
And he's a big X-Men... Man, that's awesome. Well, he just loves his straight lines on that blast effect. Mm-hmm. I've been playing loads of X-Men Children of the Atom, and when you get Cyclops' special up, the optic blast takes up like the whole screen.
Oh, very satisfying.
It's so good. Scout plays it in the car, and he's like, I like the big robot one, the Sentinel. The biggest sprite.
It's cool that John Byrne was cover artist on GI Joe, because actually at this point in, I think, Marvel history, GI Joe and X-Men were neck and neck for most sales.
God, who can imagine a time where that sentence makes sense? GI Joe and X-Men were kind of duking it out for sales. It's unimaginable. What a time to be alive. I was alive. Look, I take you to the movies. I'm going to chuck you into screen 1. We'll watch Top Gun. Then we're going to screen 2. We'll watch Raw Deal, which I literally thought was a B movie. I can't believe it actually came out at the cinema. Short Circuit. Space Camp. Tell me you watched Space Camp as a kid. It's the ultimate pull a sickie. Just chuck it on. You've taped it off the TV. You have no idea when it came out. It was a good romp. They go to NASA on a day trip to see the shuttles. They end up in space, S-Jubs.
Of course.
Yeah, they end up in actual
the 80s.
Space. It's just thrilling as a kid. I don't know. They somehow they get back. They land. Happy ending. Music, Live to Tell by Madonna was out. I don't even know that one. I'm not even going to take you to the comic shop because you're not interested. I am going to take you to the arcade where we will play Arkanoid, something me and my bro played on the C64 for hours. Simplicity. You're the little spaceship. But there was some lore in that game. Like, there was an intro. You legitimately are some kind of traveling spaceship. Anyway, Arkanoid. Did you put some hours into it?
Absolutely, but I did not know about the traveling spaceship. They lost that when it went onto the NES.
Dude, there's lore. There's lore!
Wow. Well, if you had the C64, like, you no doubt had the manual. You read said manual?
No, but I wish I had.
Chief thing to do.
What I need, I should have had my Atari book because that would have given me all of the stuff from the cover art. But favorite power up, you know, where you just like you extend. Oh yes, and then you can extend your pad, and you can have like 6 balls going, and if you get one up the top.
Yeah, the multiple balls was the worst. That was a trap.
Yeah, it was, because you actually just lose all of them. It's like the juggler throwing up all of his things. Look, this did cost me some Republican credits. How many pounds do you think this cost me? It was a buy it now within a whatnot show.
I'm going to say £7.
£7. You'd be dead wrong. It was £3, taking my running total at episode 68 to £273.68, 367 USD, 24 donations, and a partridge in a pear tree. Let's get it out.
Sniff it up.
Sniff it up. I'm just looking at this. Expect the unexpected, the new universe. As always, I would like to know how you quickly read this issue.
Digital. Sadly, I am currently, well, not sadly, I'm currently in a holiday house that we're Airbnb-ing, and do not have my physical comics to hand. So with the late substitution, You left me no choice, Ben.
Yeah, wow. But so, and how do you have access to the digital?
Oh, it's all on my PC.
Oh, it's just all yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have to say,
Scanned
man.
lovingly and saved for all eternity, hopefully.
When I read digital, are we looking at something different? So I have the modern ones that Chief sent me from the compendium.
Oh, no. I have scans of the original book.
Original, yeah. Christ.
Yes. I can show you.
So not done in an official capacity?
Nope.
No, scan. I'm just interested to see how much of the paper comes through. Oh, wow. That's quite a cool experience still then. That really does feel like the comic. So yeah, you're getting all the paper.
Yeah, you can see the paper that it was printed on.
So that's keyed out. That wouldn't look anything like that on my digital.
Nope. These are all from paper to scanner to computer.
Look, we haven't got time to go into it, but I would like a little bit more information about how they go about these digital versions of these old books.
I think we've firmly established I'm the worst person to ask, man.
Yeah, you are, but I will continue to ask. I just want to know if they are literally going back in and doing everything by hand. Like, okay, they match the color. They sounds painstaking.
That is a lot of effort. And all we really want is what I happen to have on my hard drive, which is, the original pages scanned in. Find a really nice copy, and warts and all, even with the staples.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Now, what can you just keep scanning down? Are you a barcode battler?
Ooh, in this instance, yes.
Whoa, you are. Dude, should we just... Honestly, it's a beautifully drawn cover. The Thunder Machine, there's a sketchiness to it, but also still has loads of detail. I'm here for this artist. I really am, and I'm here.
He should be. He's the superstar.
I'm here for how it's been coloured. The Thunder Machine looks absolutely amazing there.
And what Byrne has done is the popular way of depicting, any kind of rotary barreled weapon system, and that's having all the barrels firing at the same time, all the time.
Yeah, and look, I want a big muzzle flash. I don't want just tame. That's exactly what I want it to look like, and that's exactly what it looks like in my head. Yeah, you feel the heat.
Colors, kind of the ombre from orange to yellow to white around.
Here's
the barrel.
A question. Let's get real world though. That is being fed. Yeah, so both barrels are being fed by these lovely, looped ammo kind of rings. But I feel like really, if you hold down for too long, you are going through that fast. I feel like the Thunder Machine real world's probably got about 20 seconds of firing time before all three of them dreadnoughts are going to have to get out and take about 15 minutes to refeed everything and get it up and running again. I mean, look, and you can only shoot straight.
If this is a gutted Trans Am, presumably under the hood is nothing but bullets or shells, because this thing is, I think, 20 millimeters. And yes, two of them. One of them is sufficient for an aircraft cannon. But two of them going at the same time, if you've got 2,000 rounds, you've got about 10 seconds.
Jeez. Yeah. Wow. I mean, where's the engine? The engine should be in the bonnet.
The engine's in the rear. I mean, the Thunder Machine has jet propulsion.
Jet propulsion, yeah.
If you want to get into the realism of the two rotary guns, you need to skip squarely past the realism of mounting a jet engine onto the back of a pickup, because that is one way of finding your way into the Darwin Awards, that's for sure.
Well, also, how does Thrasher drive this thing? The visibility. I see no way of seeing out of that windshield. I see no way. but anyway.
Your point of concern. I mean, anything that he's liable to run up against, he'll just destroy with the cannon.
The Thunder Machine! Let's get into it. Look, my notes are straight away. Page 1, Thunder Machine. You're like, oh my God, we're in the best, most capable hands in terms of the art. Wiggum, I think he's my guy. Like, it's just every single character has been beautifully drawn there. The gas station, the trees in the background. This guy can draw the heck out of an A-Ra book, man. He kind of just draws it how I want it to be, really. And when I close my eyes and think of A-Ra, I think I'm thinking Wiggum. I don't know about you, but it just nails the faces. There's a kind of... It's just right in my wheelhouse.
Also helped by the fact that this is prime GI Joe era. Like, Rod Wiggum was the artist when GI Joe was at its creative and artistic, and certain toys were at their peak. Peak popularity. Yeah, he's the man. Very fun.
Yeah, also, you know, things like this in the foreground, not lost on me. You know, having that big van toned out there gives you depth, gives you a couple of parallax layers. I would like to pitch something to you now. Based off the first few pages of this book. I like back in the day, I would have loved a Dreadnoks gas station hideout with functioning motor pool, some play features, kind of looks real world. Oh, I would have loved that. Seriously, it's never the sort of play set the way that sort of GI Joe went. That's probably more of like a mask thing or something. But a Dreadnought gas station hideout with some interesting features, maybe the motor pool behind, an actual like cover of having the shop and the till and stuff. Come on.
Would you do a forecourt, or this actually? Yeah,
yes.
It's got a very brief forecourt.
No,
basically one awning.
The forecourt would, you'd be able to pull up the Thunder Machine. I just started spiraling when I was reading it, and I just kept thinking about that, and I wasn't taking in the first few pages because I kept thinking of how much I would have loved something like that. And I can even picture like the box art. Maybe, could have come with. Who could it have come with? I don't know, but.
Well, for box art purposes, you'd have to make this a little bit more mask-like. You'd have to have like drop-down cannons in the sign, and you'd have to have like a gun chair swiveling out of the petrol pump.
But it would all be concealed, so it would be almost like a transformation. So you could turn it into a petrol station, gas station, but then
very Zartan. Yep,
yeah. Sure. Maybe you could have a helipad on the top. Look,
Zartan's massive bird.
I'll keep thinking about it, until someone does it.
Talented customizers out there, if you have seen a Dreadnought gas station, point us in that direction. We want to see it too.
I was around someone's house last night, and I think this is in my head because for Christmas they got a miniature kind of petrol station that had like a McDonald's to the side of it, and it's all branded like a Shell petrol station, and it's Hot Wheel scale size. Okay. And it was just such beautiful detail. And then I saw this gas station and I'm just like, oh, come on. But anyway.
Make it happen. Come on, Hasbro.
Make it happen. The thing is, though, it features all the time in the comics.
Well, I mean, as of this point, before this, Zartan had his shack.
Yeah, I would prefer the gas station playset opposed to the shack playset for me. I don't want the river-based shack. I think that would be a bit dull. But anyway...
Okay. Well, sorry to my buddy Alan Grant, who chose that as his Dreadnought dio. He actually created like a sort of waterway with a jetty.
Well, I'm sure it's absolutely incredible, but I kind of meant if I was in Toys R Us and I see the playsets, I know which one I'm going for. Now, this issue was, for me, making me channel a lot of Sunbow energy. Were you getting those vibes? Mainly with the character roll call, and also the narrative. It felt like it could have fit into a nice 20-minute Sunbow episode.
The presence of Sergeant Slaughter will always have more Sunbow resonance than Marvel Comics for me.
Yes.
He was a far more important character in Sunbow. But in this issue, he gets to be the leading man. He gets to sort of lead the counterattack or the chase.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. And then also, does Alpine pop up at the end? Anytime I see Alpine, I think Sunbow.
It's a good time. Yeah. Well, Shipwreck, it's all those sort of 1985 stalwarts. They kind of get shuffled to the back of the deck shortly afterwards, but right now they are large and in charge, and they are absolutely the supporting cast.
How do you feel about Dreadnought dialogue? Are you here for Dreadnought dialogue? I don't remember him having no sister named Zorana. I seems to remember Zartan having a brother, but I can't remember what he looked like.
And we get do it like that. It's perfect.
That's Xandar. No one can remember his face.
Yeah, man.
You know me. I'm here for the Dreadnoughts. I know that you're not necessarily here for the Dreadnoughts, but I think it's a welcome change of pace. And yeah, I'm here for them. Always have been.
They definitely add to the variety. I've said this before. If it was green on blue all the time, it might get a bit stale. But GI Joe always provided such a colorful rogues gallery. Hanging out with the Dreadnoughts is a nice tonic, let's say.
Yeah. Now, there's a 6-pack of grape soda on the desk. Only $1.50 a bottle. $1.50. Ain't that a bit steep? Jeez.
Wow. Times have changed.
Times have changed. Oh, I do love all the grape soda stuff.
I'm sure you wouldn't spend more than $1. You'd probably spend like 50 cents.
Dude, I think anything over $1 for kind of chocolate, snacks, drinks would have been considered very pricey, actually. So
sure.
I'm laughing, but that's bang on the money. Look, what are they up to, S-Jubs? What's going on here? Some kind of rescue mission?
Yeah, we have Xandar's debut in this issue. Zorana debuted the issue before, but they are going to spring Zartan from the pit.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the first half of the book. The second half is what I'd like to say the equivalent of Shakedown, but for the Thunder Machine and the Havoc.
Yes!
These two 1986 vehicles pitted...
Going at it.
Yeah. It's a
toy advert.
Battle of wits, battle of technology, battle of just nerve, like sheer willpower.
Yeah, we tick all the major boxes. We've got a nice head-to-head game of chicken, which you have to have in any good vehicle kind of face-off. I've got here Fast and Furious, Havoc versus Thunder Machine. Yeah. Again, you can just imagine the hands coming down and just playing with these two toys. Playing chicken.
Did you do it, Ben?
No, I didn't, because I didn't have Thunder Machine, but I had the Havoc, and with all of my like ground-based GI Joe vehicles, or with any of my vehicles from other IPs, my Lego, a game that me and my brother would play would be chicken on the lounge floor. I'd send Gav down that way. I'd be down the other way. I'd have the Havoc, or he'd have Ore Striker. It didn't even have to be like, different Cobra or G.I. Joe. And we would just do chicken, just like pretending, or sometimes we'd push them into each other. One of our games was we'd each have a pile of Lego, and we'd have to build a vehicle, and then we would just smash them together, and it was last vehicle standing. Ooh. So good. I remember one time I snuck into the kitchen and got some super glue. What a little shit. I was young. I cheated. I've never even told him that to this day. But look, I love a good standoff. I love a good chicken because
glued a brick wall.
No, I'd glue my vehicle together so it was more like, yeah. So, and then after, like, we were so analytical. After each, like, smash, the rule was you had to go to the middle of the room and analyze each vehicle, see which bits came off, and there was no rebuilding allowed. Good game.
Wow.
But anyway, with a good vehicle, it's a cockfight, isn't it? I do love it. It's kind of like everything else goes out of the window, like passengers, and it's just between the two drivers, you know? Like they kind of, I don't know. It's really strange. It gets all alpha, and their surroundings
more alpha than Sarge.
Yeah, like their surroundings kind of just become invisible, and it's just like, "Argh." Yeah, I'm here for it. And there was a fantastic kind of, I don't know, like Mission Impossible set piece where the Thunder Machine just goes through that train. Woo!
Yeah, what ultimately wins the day for Thrasher is he's not restrained by morality or even like intelligence. Like he's completely crazy. He will just machine gun through a train.
He picked the right compartment though, didn't he?
Oof, big time. It was empty.
Look at the one by it. Fuel.
Yeah, it could have ended very differently.
Yeah, the thing is, the Havoc cannot do that. Like it's just weird in the middle. It would have been mincemeat, man, if the Havoc would have tried something like that.
Yeah, look, the Havoc is not like the Thunder Machine in that the Thunder Machine is always in danger of taking off.
The Havoc's a boat, dude.
That engine, if you throttled it all the way up, the Thunder Machine becomes a missile.
Yes.
No doubt about it. He has to be thrusting pretty low thrust to keep his speed manageable.
The reinforcement on the rear axle and stuff, it must be absurd with that rocket propulsion. Yeah.
Something I'd like to call out now, and
please do.
So it's on record. I feel like the example that Rod was working off of, and that everyone was working off of, and even the box artist was working off of the Thunder Machine, was misassembled. Because that loop of bullets should double over.
Yeah, and feed both barrels. Yeah.
But instead, they've put this rather awkward, like Alice band of bullets, looped over the, like it's suspended in midair. That makes zero sense. But anyway, as I said, I just wanted it on record here and now, in case anyone's screaming at their radio, like, "Come on, S-Jubs, call it out, man. That thing's weird."
Those shells would be white hot, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Thrash is shielding his face as they're going through the train.
They would be white hot. Youch.
And of course, they're shredded train car bits flying everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a very friendly vehicle for those running boards.
No.
GI Joe places for you to stick your figures. The Thunder Machine is probably the most hazardous of the lot.
I remember I never really thought about shells being hot until Black Hawk Down, and he calls in a mini chopper attack, and he's right underneath, and it starts raining on him, and he gets one down his collar, and he's just like, and I was like, yeah, I've never really thought about that. I've never seen that portrayed. But anyway, I imagine, the Thunder Machine is just spraying white hot metal everywhere it goes. The Thunder Machine. What else have I got in my notes? This is the best part of the issue, though, isn't it? Because they dedicate, well, as you said, pretty much the whole final half of this book is just this amazing chase. I'm here for this kind of WW2 coming through the fields scene. I'm just showing it in my camera here, coming through the marshes. Oh, yeah, I'd like to play that out. There's nothing I loved more than driving my vehicles through high garden grass, that comes way over the top of the vehicle. So much fun.
See what would happen if a Thunder Machine's guns were to be cutting on a GI Joe tank?
Yes.
Like, do you buy it? That's the cannons would shred a mauler like that?
I don't buy it because the mauler, the armor plating in my head of that thing is impenetrable. I mean, maybe 2 inches, 3 inches thick armor plating. I think those bullets, no matter what the caliber is, they're just pinging off of that thing.
Well, how then do you suppose the A10, the Warthog, Thunderbolt 2, the tank killer, is able to kill tanks with what is effectively... Okay, that's a 30mm gun. It's a bit bigger, but it's still firing, shells.
Armor piercing.
Armor piercing shells. Well, yeah, I think the same thing is loaded into the Thunder Machine. But, I was tipped onto it by a channel that knows far more than I do, that it's less about the size of the round and more about just the volume of fire.
Yeah.
If you fire one 20mm round at the frontal armor of a tank, you won't get penetration. You fire 500 rounds at the frontal armor of a tank, it's just going... you've got round after round after round hitting in more or less the same region. It's going to shred that armor.
There's so many sort of vile ways to take out an enemy vehicle in the real world. Like I saw these things where, like, I don't know what it is, but the shell it busts through armor plating. It's like a tank buster, and then when it's inside, it just shrapnel and just kind of absolutely spaghetti bolognese is the inside of that vehicle, and it's just like, oh my god, it's dark.
You called out that this was like a Sunbow episode, and I mean the ability of your occupants of a tank to leap out in time to avoid
18 baby
20mm cannon fire. That's something that we did as kids. Your characters were always able to abandon vehicle before it was obliterated.
Oh, 100%. I wasn't going to lose, like, named characters in a vehicle blowing up. That was full A-team, kind of like through the air. Whoa! Close one. Close one, man.
Well, we weren't on that thing that blew up.
Yeah. But is there anything from the first half that you would like to discuss? In terms of the pit.
Let's talk about the swamp fire.
Let's
talk about its ability to conceal itself. Now, what is so cool about it is that it starts off as green. So it's going to pass as a GI Joe vehicle if you just slap the right kind of stickers on it.
Nice decal.
Rod Wiggum has done that diligence. He's got a GI Joe on the engine shroud and a big old star on the pontoon. And that's all it takes.
But
you put a Lady Gay on there, and that gets past the guard.
Yeah, there's no you feel like the security would be absolutely watertight. I'm seeing no documents changing hands here, no ID, no scanning, no nothing. Just
in fact,
come on in.
What sells it more is the fact that the vehicle is so outlandish. Because, like, the guard at the gate, he's like, yeah, I recognize you. You with that chaplain assistant's motor pool outfit. Wild bunch of guys, huh? With some wild vehicles. Is what I'm kind of reading into that phrase.
The last page of this issue should have been that guy being handed his P45.
What do you think of a swamp fire kind of cruising around the ground? Are we assuming it's got some kind of, like, wheeled propulsion?
I wanted to ask you, is it Fred Flintstone? I mean, what is... It's bizarre. It's as if it literally is a toy and it has those little cheat wheels on the base that kind of make it move around a bit.
Look, I guess it could have powered wheels. I mean, if this thing is truly amphibious, which it's not. It's a plane that turns into a... Oh, my goodness. Ben, you can just riff for a second. I need to communicate with my dad.
Oh, Papa. You communicate. Well, look, we do get some Sergeant Slaughter in this issue. And for me as a kid, it was all about the WWF connection with Sergeant Slaughter. That and the fact that it was the voice, he was kind of like a celebrity. My brother found that amazing. But it was always very confusing because WWF, he predominantly, he went through this awful phase where he was a heel, and I was like, he's so bad in the WWF, and he's playing like the ultimate American hero in Sunbow and everything. But you're right. I feel like he was a big deal in Sunbow, but Harmer possibly didn't really enjoy writing him that much, and he doesn't actually feature much in the comic. And I'm not his biggest fan in the comic, to be honest with you. He's okay in this issue, but he's not really where my focus is. I don't get that much enjoyment out of his dialogue. How do you feel about him in this issue?
In this issue, we're presented with like an alternate reality, like branching point. Because if Larry had really taken this character on and put him front and center as some kind of superhero ambassador of the team, we would have seen a lot more Sarge action. And you know what? I would have been here for it.
Okay.
As it is, the book will always skew towards Snake Eyes and characters connected with Snake Eyes. That doesn't really leave an opening for other frontrunners, because absolutely Sarge is, as far as the cartoon is concerned, a frontrunner.
Oh,
as much
massively.
As Duke, as much as, I mean,
he's
more
almost
than Snake Eyes.
He's kind of in the cartoon. He's a kind of like a top trump. You know,
totally.
He's the strongest. He's the fiercest. We're gonna call the Sarge and get him in, and he comes in. He bashes heads. Doosh. And
like it could have offered some variety. I think Larry had settled on Roadblock as his heavy, and no one else really comes close. But Sarge could have served as like being interchangeable there, or at least give him more chances to show drill instructor, because there's that weeding out special missions. No, it's not. It's not special missions. Oh no, it is special missions. Weeding out, right? I don't know. It's the one that features like the 1988 guys, and they're being put through the paces of like GI Joe boot camp. And it's Duke who's the drill instructor. Now, Duke has got better things to do. He's running an anti-terrorist task force. Make Sarge the featured character there. That was a missed opportunity, in hindsight anyway.
Well, look.
Yeah, Sarge could have done with more working in.
There is a featured character that we ain't talked about yet, and that is Cross Country getting some dialogue in this issue, baby. Love Cross Country in Sunbow. Randomly has quite a lot of dialogue in Sunbow, man. Great,
such a delicious dialect.
Yeah. Hillbilly, I'm no hillbilly. I'm a redneck and proud of it.
What do you make of that? Why is he making a distinction like that?
I don't know, really. Well, I wouldn't know enough about rednecks or hillbillies, S-Jobs.
Well, I hope the comments on this video can help us out in that regard. I did do a quick squiz on Google.
You did.
AI is... I mean, the suggestion they make is that hillbilly would refer to folks from the mountainous regions, also rural, but like a redneck is more like just grassroots, like a more general term. Like
I feel like hillbilly is more derogatory.
No, Google seemed to think the other way around. That like redneck was more derogatory, but redneck has been reclaimed as like a term of pride. And like an identifier of a certain national pride, a certain region, and it is taken on by the people who were derided as rednecks.
Okay.
But now they've taken ownership. Like a lot of subgroups have taken ownership of things that were derogatory in history. Maybe, I don't know. It seems a bit early for him to be making that kind of.
I feel like
high horse.
He should have really good sort of shoulder and neck muscles, or be good at yoga. That havoc driving position with your like neck like this. It is so like, even thinking about being in that position for like a long time is horrendous. Like your neck, S-Jubs, would be in tatters. Like you would have to have a break.
He's like, what? The occupants lie down in this thing? Okay, I will do that.
But it would make you feel like you're going twice as fast. Like you're so low, and just like when he's hooning, I bet it would feel great.
Now, about that, in this reread, I have just clocked that we get to spy his speedometer.
Oh.
And I see some gradations. There's 20 miles per hour.
He's doing about 70, dude.
Right at the top is 50, and he's doing more than 50.
Oh,
so
yeah.
60 or 70. That's like, what, 100 kilometers per hour?
Well, in a tracked vehicle, that's good going.
Through this New Jersey swampland, this bog.
Yeah, no, he is absolutely redlining it. But I've got no issue with, like, the Havoc can shift, man. When I played with the Havoc, I wasn't driving it like a freaking oil tanker, dude. I was...
Well, the Havoc is like, no.
You hate the Havoc. It's in your...
I do not... No.
It's in your core.
I've warmed to the Havoc hugely. Because
you like the Sky Havoc, you nutter.
No, I don't have the Sky Havoc yet. That is the hole in my Sky Patrol collection. But I want to know, as a practical point, how did you hoon your Havoc with the sort of really wibbly wobbly?
It's so, yeah. In hindsight, like thinking back to Christmas when I got it, it is such a wibbly, wobbly, like rattly, lots of movements, people coming off of the foot pegs, it's shanky. Like the Havoc is actually
not care which direction the wheels were locked. You just skidded that thing along the tiles anyway.
But I think the Havoc was actually rife for micro snappages and breakages on those gun arms. Mine was always fine, and I'll tell you here and now that my missiles firmly pointed backwards, my man. Firmly! Because that's the video gamer in me. I was always kind of just like, no, I love stuff that can shoot backwards. Amazing!
I'm trying to see. Did they do that on the art in this issue?
Yeah, they're facing backwards.
Yeah. Missiles are backwards. Though they're a little bit more like torpedoes.
Well, I just saw the real Scarlet back at Maguire AFB along with the other returnees from Springfield. Just who are you? Man. He's got quite that traditional tank, kind of the goggles on the cap. It's good.
I love that's more a Civil War era cap.
I like steampunk unused goggles. I love goggles just on your... I just love that. Like, never use them.
Statement.
Yeah. Steampunk. Who is the most steampunky GI Joe character? I don't even feel like they ever really went down that avenue.
No, I'm sure something better will come to my head.
Who's got good sculpted goggles?
Many.
Yes, so many. So many. But I wonder how many of them are those like round steampunky ones. Don't know.
Oh, gosh. Nothing's coming to me now, but I mean...
I had to do Secret Cinema, and I can't remember, but my character was steampunk, and I got them with the big sort of punk spikes coming out of them. Bandana on the top. Steampunk. Of course. Job done.
Cool, bro.
Let's just, because I've literally only just read this, I just quickly want to know how the Battle of the Havoc and the Thrasher actually ends. They just keep going. There's a great James Bondy crash through the fences at exactly the same time, and it feels like they're kind of flipping each other off, maybe in the air almost.
Well, I mean, look, the game of chicken ends in the most James Bondy way. Let's not forget that. The Thunder Machine, everyone sort of leans.
Two wheels.
And they do a two-wheel, what do you even call that? And knock off Sarge's hat.
Oh, dude.
Oof, if that had been a few inches lower.
He loses his whole head. I mean, that is the ping. Mm-hmm. That is beyond a close call. So we get to see the Sarge without his hat.
Is this a refinery?
Yeah, that's what... Yes, some kind of refinery. Look, that's what every good chase... You have to move through a place. You have to have different scenes. Like, it's perfectly written, my man. This stuff ain't easy. I'm telling you.
It doesn't overstay its welcome either. Just when you think things are going to ramp up a notch and Sarge is in what they call the utility flyer, the Havoc's little hovercraft craft, that's when they throw off the scent. And they use what is their dreadnought, God-given, which is subterfuge. They go back to the gas station, conceal the thunder machine, and everyone gets into disguises, and Sarge is fooled.
Look, that play feature, as a kid, you can't ask for anything more. You get something that flies in your Havoc toy. That just gets a kid. It's perfect. And you'd have it in a holding pattern, maybe. If there's something that Havoc can't do, off you go, roadblock.
I figured it was a good scout vehicle for like lasing targets for the missiles. If you are going to have these rearward-facing missiles.
Very real world.
A rearward-facing sort of hover car that I don't know, is a scout. Is a sort of a data link.
I probably wouldn't have done that. I think I'd have been more boots on the ground with my laser team. They would have probably been in bushes, just like tick, tick, marking those targets up. I would also never fly it very high, very low altitude. It was a couple of feet above the Havoc, and that was it. It was too difficult to kind of maneuver when it got too high.
Right. So even lower than a snowspeeder, in other words.
I'd sort of also, it wasn't like jets. It was very much just like a... Yeah.
Now, here's another creative use for that vehicle. If you've got rear-facing missiles, and you've got these rear-facing sort of swiveling machine guns.
Yes, you do.
If you've got an operator in the back with that hover car and it's still sort of linked in, could the Havoc not be sort of ambi-directional? So
yes.
You can go backwards as easily as you can go forwards.
Oh, do you mean that they actually have control of the vehicle back there?
Yes, and it can sort of turn or... It can basically, in reverse, have as much of an assault as it has going forward. So, like,
do you think you control that back
over to
axle?
The guy in the back there, and suddenly you've got machine guns, missiles brought to bear?
Well, if it was in a Roger Moore James Bond film, you know what would happen.
Go underwater.
They'd both floor it at the same time, and you'd split that Havoc in two.
No.
No, my Havoc never drove backwards. If it was driving backwards, Cross Country was driving in reverse, my good man, with probably some kind of heads up display. He'd have a camera maybe so he could see. I don't know.
Did you keep Cross Country in the cab, or was he on the gun chair?
What are you talking about? What do you think, S-Jubs? Come on. No. I don't think he ever came out.
Okay.
He was, dude... If he wasn't moving, he was putting a tape deck in. So,
yeah, well, that's one way of playing it. But if you do that, you basically never have any fun with your driver figure.
I had plenty of fun with him.
Ever being in the cab.
Yeah. Look, I struggled to get my drivers away. They're intrinsically linked to their vehicles. I didn't really want them to be far away. And if you weren't having chases and battles, they were maintenance. They were looking after their vehicle, prepping it, repairing it, cleaning it. They just went with it. I was such a stickler for that. So Havoc occupants would normally be... Roadblock would either be on the gun or in the hover flyer. Who else were absolute mainstays for the Havoc? Maybe Beachhead. So that maybe those were the main three. And then how many foot pegs have you got on each side? 3?
Oh, I think you've got 3 on each side. And then...
God, my brother used to love loading it up. I've spoken about this so many times, but one thing we would do with any brand new vehicle, we'd get as many figures on there as you officially could. I wasn't really interested in, he's hanging on. It's like, no, foot pegs. This is what it's been designed for. And look, you got yourself a troop carrier, dude. 6, 7, 8, 10. 10 figs. Now, you are loading up for playtime with 10 figures. That's a unit. That's a
They could have done with
fantastic
some more
amount.
guys on there. I mean, it's basically Sarge and cross country, and that's it.
You really want to have three Joes on each side?
With small arms. Because why? And this is how much of a toy book we're dealing with here. Between Larry and Rod, they call out the fact that these vehicles, when they're running parallel to one another, they can't shoot at each other.
No, it's not. It's not battleships. They're not trying to broadside each other. Even though the Havoc is somewhat like a battleship,
they are entirely fixed forward in their main weaponry.
No,
which is great for frontal assaults, but yeah, they cannot engage anything to the left or right of them.
Make no mistake, they are in a cockfight right there. They are just they're just holding on, and the two drivers are just, I will not be beaten. But I know that I would want to be in the Thrasher there, because can you imagine the landing on the Havoc from that height and that speed? The cab has got quite a lot of overhang. The cab might hit the ground before the tracks. I mean, it would be brutal.
And given the kind of terrain, it's going to dig in.
It's going to jackknife.
There's a lot of precarious points on a Havoc, but certainly there's a major one in those sort of grenade launchers right down on the front fender.
Yes.
Like that is a bit of a prang risk. If you are trying to like go up some terrain, those will be the first things to make contact, and you just drag them.
Didn't they just have the nicest purchase on the toy though? Very stiff and nice.
Good smooth left to right.
Yeah, they were lovely. They weren't kind of shanky. They were just so nice. And I would never have them doing opposites or anything like that. So I could only. Oh, they had to, dude. What, this business?
Who controls them?
Cross country.
Right. So they're driver operated. What is the guy beside the driver doing then?
I think he is taking care of the whole vehicle. He's on comms, he's on navs, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon missile control. But when he's not doing that, I think he would probably maneuver the guns. You give that to the driver, sure, he can line up the shot, but the fine detail of, the finer aiming of these things should probably go to a third party. If they're not like maybe, I was about to say AI assisted, but this is 1986. They would have some kind of target acquisition. Like they would, like a smart gun. You just aim the nose of the vehicle in the general direction of what you want to shoot, and the guns will find the target.
I always dreamt as a child of actually, I didn't do this with any of my vehicles, but troop building the Havoc really appealed to me. I thought the visual of having multiple and having that kind of motor pool GI Joe base where you just have that that same vehicle, maybe three of them would have been just so lovely to have had parked. Like all
the Havoc would be the one to do it, I guess.
Don't you think? I think it would have been.
I think the Havoc offers the most display and play potential.
Yes.
You've got a broken down version with the hatch open, the engine cover off, the canopy popped open, the guns up. Like that can be the ones that's being worked on. You got one that's at the ready, locked and loaded.
Well, S-Jubs.
You're a Sunbow kid, so a fleet of Havocs makes perfect sense.
It really does, but I don't know what I'd have done with all of those cross countries.
He is a common figure for that exact reason. The popularity of this vehicle and the fact that he is a character unto himself. There are so many cross countries, and because he's so easily completed, it's just the figure, no accessory.
Yeah, for sure. Well, look, who knew we could talk about and have so much fun with an issue that we literally read 10 minutes before we went live. It's been a great way to kick off the year, my man.
Also.
what a fantastic issue to cover on New Year's Day of 2026. What's left to say, S-Jubs? Apart from... go on.
I skimmed the letters page. Got some guy who really wanted to see more of Storm Shadow's expertise with other weapons. I found that was an interesting thing. They're like, oh, we don't have time to like even exhaustively show his expertise with the Ninjato, the Daito, and the Wakizashi before we
lovely
can
pronunciation
eyes and other things. Like this guy was like, he wants to see blowguns, fukuje, or tonfas. Instead of just old ninja sword and shuriken. Yeah.
Let's see more quick kick.
Yes. And like just to kind of put it out there that when you're talking about the artwork on the cartoon, that there are hundreds of designers, board artists, and art directors, animators, and ink paint artists working on the animated series. But the model sheets that all the artists work from, for the sake of consistency, are drawn by Russ Heath. And Russ gifted us an issue of GI Joe that we haven't done on Chasing Joe yet. So I will definitely call that out when we get to it. But it will look and feel like the cartoon for sure.
Well, I will call you out because I have to go and spend time with my family. It is New Year's Day.
New Year's, Ben.
It is
we did
time.
Year of Chasing Joe.
Oh, it's a joy. It's a joy, and my God, are we consistent? We never missed a week, and we never will. So we will see you next week for another episode of Chasing Joe. Until then, have a great New Year's Day, and let's just march into 2026 with our heads held high, and we're all going to have a thoroughly good year. Yo, Joe!
Yo, Joe! Bye.